In our last adventure, the city of UOS was invaded by an army of malware villains. We had spies, vandals, and hostage-takers causing chaos in the streets. And our hero, the mayor, is doing their best to clean up the mess. But this is exhausting. Running around fixing problems after they happen is a losing battle. It's a bit like trying to bail out a leaky boat with a teacup. You're expending a lot of effort, but the underlying issue remains, and the water just keeps coming in. This reactive approach, while well-intentioned, is ultimately unsustainable. The mayor, a symbol of anyone trying to manage the digital security, is experiencing firsthand the fatigue that comes from constantly reacting to threats rather than proactively preparing for them. This isn't just about putting out digital fires, it's about understanding the fundamental principles that allow those fires to start in the first place. The mayor is confused. How can you plan for an attack you don't see coming? This is a question many of us ask when facing the vast and often unseen world of cybersecurity threats. It feels like trying to anticipate the weather without ever looking at a forecast, or preparing for a battle without knowing who your enemy is or where they might strike. The concept of planning, in this context, goes beyond simply having a checklist of actions. It requires a deeper understanding of the underlying dynamics of digital security. It demands a shift from a mindset of crisis management to one of strategic foresight, where potential dangers are identified and addressed before they can manifest into actual harm. This is where the wisdom of the strategist comes into play, offering a path to clarity in what seems like an overwhelming challenge. And to understand the first word, the mayor had to look not at his city, but at the monster outside of it. A threat is anything that has the potential to cause harm to your city. It's the who, or the what, that could possibly attack you. The key word here is potential. The dragon is sleeping right now. It's not burning down buildings or eating the citizens. But it could. The potential is always there. And that dragon isn't the only threat out there. In our digital world, threats can take many forms. A malicious hacker trying to steal your data is a threat. A piece of ransomware that wants to lock all your files is a threat. An unexpected system failure, like a hard drive crash, is also a threat. A phishing email designed to trick you is a threat. All of these are forces of potential harm that exist outside your direct control. You can't control the dragon, but you can control how you prepare for it. Spies from rival cities are a threat. A sudden meteor shower, like a hard drive failure, is a threat. An earthquake that knocks out the power plant is a threat. They are all external forces of potential harm. Here's the most important lesson about threats: you can't eliminate them. You'll never destroy every dragon, stop every meteor, or catch every spy. The threats will always exist. Your job isn't to destroy the dragon, it's to make your city so strong that the dragon can't get in. And to do that, you have to stop looking at the mountains and start looking at your own walls. A fine wall, the strategist said. But a wall is only as strong as its weakest point. This brings us to the second word of power: vulnerability. A vulnerability is a weakness. It's a flaw, a loophole, or an unlocked door in your defenses that a threat could use to get inside. It's not the enemy itself, it's the opening you left for the enemy. The strategist points to a large, jagged crack in the foundation. This crack, he says, is like a bug in your software that you forgot to patch. He gestures to the gate. This gate is made of wood, not steel. It's like using a weak password like password 1, 2, 3. And that guard, the strategist sighs, is supposed to be your firewall, watching for intruders. But he's asleep. You have no active monitoring. And these vulnerabilities are everywhere, even in the parts of your city you can't see. A crack in the wall could also be an unpatched piece of software that has a known security flaw. A wooden gate could be a weak password that you've reused on 10 different websites. And a sleep guard could be a simple lack of multi-factor authentication on your most important accounts. The danger is not a lack of walls, it is the holes in those walls that you and your team are not aware of. These are the weak spots that attackers are looking for. You have to think like a professional and find these weak spots before the bad guys do. See the difference? The dragon is the threat. The crack in the wall is the vulnerability. The threat is out there. The vulnerability is in here. And unlike threats, you have control over your vulnerabilities. You can patch the crack, upgrade the gate, and wake up that guard. The mayor is starting to understand. Okay, he says, so there's a dragon way out there, and a little crack in the wall way over here. They're separate. No big deal, right? But that is where the third, and most important, word comes in: risk. Risk is the true measure of your security. It is the measure of how much you have to worry. And to manage that, you have to do something called risk assessment. This is the process of identifying, analyzing, and evaluating the risk to your digital assets. You have to ask yourself, what are the most important parts of my city? What would happen if they were destroyed? And what is the chance that a threat will find and exploit a vulnerability to cause that damage? By answering these questions, you can prioritize your resources and fix the biggest holes in your walls first. It is the most logical and effective way to build a strong defense. Risk is the bridge that connects the threat and the vulnerability. It is the probability, the chance, that a threat will successfully exploit a vulnerability and cause harm. It's the so what that turns two separate problems into one big disaster. Let's look at a few scenarios. Scenario 1. High risk. The data-gobbling dragon, the threat, is awake and actively looking for food. It finds the giant crack in your wall, the vulnerability. The likelihood of a successful attack is very high. This is a 5-alarm fire level of risk. Scenario 2. Low risk. The dragon, the threat, is asleep. Your wall has a very small, well-hidden crack, the vulnerability. Could the dragon wake up and happen to find that exact spot? Yes. Is it likely? No. The risk is low. You should still fix it, but you don't need to panic. Now, what happens if you fix the crack? The dragon is still out there, so the threat remains. But you've eliminated the vulnerability. And if there's no opening for the dragon to use, the risk becomes nearly zero. And that is the goal of cybersecurity, not to slay every dragon, but to patch every hole in your wall. So let's recap the secret words of power. A threat is the potential source of harm. It's the who or what could attack. The dragon, a vulnerability, is the weakness or opening that a threat can exploit. It's the how they could attack. The cracked wall, and risk is the likelihood that the threat will exploit the vulnerability to cause damage. The chance the dragon uses the crack to get in. And this is what we do here at T-Leries. We teach you cybersecurity and how to stay safe online, using these simple and easy to understand analogies. We're here to give you the strategist's mindset, so you can see the threats, find your vulnerabilities, and intelligently manage your risks. Every single door, window, tunnel, port, and pipe, every possible way an enemy could try to get in, makes up your city's total exposure. In cybersecurity, we have a name for this. It's called your attack surface. The bigger and more complex it is, the more places the dragon has to look for a crack in the wall. The goal of any great defender is to make that surface as small and as strong as possible. In our next video, we will map out your digital attack surface and show you how to start bricking up those forgotten windows for good. Make sure you subscribe so you can shrink your target and turn your city into a true fortress. Stay safe out there.